Hello there.
Hello there. That is
It's our one time we get to say hello there, because
not
then
the one time.
Absolutely, it's our one time we should use it, and there we go.
There we go.
How is everybody doing? Thank you for joining us on our Wednesday stream to talk about two shows. We have Miss Marvel episode 3, and what's the other thing?
I don't remember. What could the other thing possibly be? It couldn't have anything to do with that handsome man staring at you from behind the in the background, could it?
Joseph and his coat. What is that?
His non-technicolor coat. Yes, we're talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi, the series finale, season finale.
There will be spoilers, so
I'll
just
leave it up to you.
keep that in mind in case you have not seen either of these shows. But if you've seen them, then yeah, here we are talking about the third episode. So we're halfway through the season, right? There's 6 episodes of Miss Marvel, or how many episodes are there?
Yes. Wait, we're talking about Ms. Marvel first, or are we talking about Obi-Wan?
You know what? I got to choose last time. You choose today.
Oh, well,
Tavon wants to know which show we doing first.
Tavon, which one do you want us to do first?
How's Tavon in charge now?
I don't know. I'm just asking. Good evening. And also shout out to Oxmeat Pete, who's catching us live for once. Loving all the comment sections. So Obi-Wan, yeah, no, that's the one I want to do first.
You want to do that first? Talk about Miss Marvel first. We are Van Omni-Dog is talking in code. Good evening, Griffin.
Good evening.
Griffin X.
All right. Let's go ahead and talk about Obi-Wan first, because it is.
You want to do Obi-Wan first? Okay.
Well, is it because it's the season finale or series finale? I don't know, because apparently, according to Star Wars bosses, if there's enough love for this show, there's a potential for season 2. And given how things leave off at the end of this,
yeah, you know what season 2 is called? It's called A New Hope. Okay, that's season 2. What's up, Josh? How's it going? First time back in a bit. Glad you guys are doing well. Glad I could catch it live, and glad you are here. What's up, Lionheart? Omar, you still home? I'm still home. Omar, safe travels to you and your family. Thanks, man. It's just Melanie and I. We'll pick. I thought about doing HeroGasm as a Patreon only, so we could just talk about everything and show everything, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Has anyone seen the teaser for that? Because basically, I mean, Amazon's hyping it up. They basically show nothing but little glimpses. They say this is the only things we're allowed to show in an advertisement. So they're teasing us hardcore. Amazon is, with what to expect for The Boys on Friday, which obviously has nothing to do with what we're talking about this.
Dude, Eddie Brock's not cutting it. He's like,
oh, Eddie.
That's what I gave Catwoman. Hot take. Obi-Wan's a backdoor pilot for Vera, the Redeemed.
For Riva, yeah.
Nope, I don't watch teasers. My man. Okay. It's not much of a teaser. It's like we can't show anything.
Oh, yeah. It's 5 seconds because I can't show anything. And it just popped up my Instagram as
that would be kind of cool, maybe. I don't know. We'll think about that. That's a good question. That is a good question, Roy. Maybe we'll do a filtered and an unfiltered. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We got a whole 4 days, and I'm not busy. And I know Amanda isn't either. So let's go ahead and get started with our review of Obi-Wan episode
6, part 6.
Part
final episode of the Obi-Wan saga after the events of Revenge of the Sith, before the events of New Hope. And of course, as we can all probably expect, it really centers around that final confrontation between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker, or Darth Vader, depending on your interpretation of what happened. And of course, there's also the other subplot, which we all had a feeling that was going to be the case last episode, and that's Riva still alive, because everyone should know you just don't die from a lightsaber to the stomach.
Mad about that decision. I was like,
they never touched any of the major organs. I guess she's able to tie it up. It's fine.
That's twice she's escaped a lightsaber going through her chest. That's the luckiest kid in the galaxy.
Everyone survives a lightsaber to the chest. That's what the Great Inquisitor did too. I'm just
not Qui-Gon Jinn.
He's the only one, and I think it's a mistake. Anyways, so of course the subplot of her is, since we know that last episode she had heard that garbled communicate from Bail Organa. She knows there's some boy on Tatooine that apparently is of importance to Darth Vader. And so
Which I still have a huge argument with. The
yeah.
greatest secret in the galaxy is revealed through a recording of a phone. I'm
Well,
not
we
here
don't
right
we don't
now.
know. I don't think she knows that he's her son or anything like that. It's just he's important to him in some way. So we don't really go.
Did they even say who it was important to? Because I thought it just
No,
said
again,
him.
it didn't. Even there, it
I would
didn't say
assume that
any.
would be him as the emperor. Not
Yeah,
there's a lot of things that I had with this show, and I'm not gonna try to nitpick as much. No, I'm going to, but that's one of the things. It's like, how is she making so many connections? I get that Lois Lane is like the smartest woman on the planet and figured out that Clark Kent is Superman. Riva's making connections just based on assumptions. I assume the same guy that tried to kill me as a kid is now Darth Vader. I assume that's his kid we're talking about. So I'm going to go to Tatooine. I
she's
assume I'm
the
going to
first
live this
person.
lightsaber a strike. There's a lot of assumptions, man.
Yeah, and that's true. She's the only person I assume that when you assume things, it does not make, well, maybe it did make an ass out of her. I don't know. But so of course she's on Tatooine looking for Luke. Obi-Wan, where this episode leaves off is him and the force sensitive folks are fleeing from the Empire.
Man,
And Roken can't get the ship's hyperdrive to work. So Obi-Wan realizes the only way for him to fix this is to go off on his own because Darth Vader just wants him, which is, yeah, pretty much how it goes. So he does that. Darth Vader, of course, follows, much to this dismay of the Grand Inquisitor, who's not really a fan of the plan, but I feel like any second in command to any Sith Lord doesn't like the Sith Lord's plans in general because they're all like focused on just revenge, which is why you shouldn't have a Sith Lord as a leader. That doesn't work because they are soul focused. That's what happened to Kylo Ren, right? That guy was all mad because he wanted to shoot everything they had at Luke, who wasn't even there. So I mean, it's like a trend apparently. They have.
Okay, I'm gonna say something right now. There's a lot of I'm sure people really hated this episode, and there's a lot of discussion in the chat right now, which I'm loving because I feel a lot of it is the same way I feel. But holy shit, did I put everything aside the moment that Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader were fighting? Like, that's what I've been wanting to see. And it feels like the writing in this one was a little bit better than most of the other episodes leading up to this, which is a shame because somebody in the editing room or somebody that oversees these scripts should have been like, hey, this last episode is written pretty good. Why don't we just like make all the other episodes just as good? I'm not saying it's a masterpiece. I'm saying it was written better. And the fight, the choreography was solid. I thought the cinematography still, I think, was my issue that I've had with the entire series. Still feels a little dull, a little stiff, if you will, when they're fighting. There's a lot of camera shaking, which I think most people after Saving Private Ryan will tell you is a lazy man's way to get around a action sequence. They did a lot of fast takes like that. And what was it? The Bourne Identity. But like breaking down the actual choreography, it's not done that well. But honestly, I don't care when you have a dude that's kind of like a robot and another dude that's older now. And then we finally get to see a fight, right? And I'm not going to say that it's as good as like episode 3 fight, but it's solid. Like the way they were fighting, like I thought that was good. Like I didn't have a problem with that at all. The use of the Force throwing rocks at each other. That's what I've been wanting to see. You got to keep in mind, this is an older Obi-Wan Kenobi who's been out of touch with the Force. I mean, he's made that obviously clear from the first episode that he hasn't been in touch with the Force. And for him to be such, to stand his ground against this guy, this Sith Lord who has had a lot of training while Obi-Wan Kenobi just roamed the desert, thought that was really cool. I thought that was handled well. Now we have another side to the story that I could have done without, but the main part, the part that all of us came to see, the part that most of us got excited about was this big fight that we knew was going to happen because of things that were said throughout episodes 4, 5, and 6. There were a couple of things I wish they had like I wish they had said. Like I wish Obi-Wan had tried to lure him over, kind of like what Luke did. When he's like, come with me. Like I wish
Yeah.
that had been done. Because that would have brought, because I mean, this whole saga is about bringing it full circle, right? Like
Yeah.
doesn't really, I mean, yes, the hello there was nice. Of course, that's nice. I'm sure Alec McGinnis was like, yeah, this is just like, it seemed like a throwaway line in those movies. And then they made it a thing because of the internet.
Yes.
So what did you think about, yeah, let's talk about that half. Like the half
Yeah,
with Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, was that, it's hard to live up to expectations that you've had in your head for the last 20 years, right?
Yeah, exactly. And well, when I put down, like when I was looking at my notes, what did I like about this episode?
Yeah.
It all came back. It all centers around Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, which there would have been a way in my mind, and we could talk about like the overall series after we get done talking about this episode, but I feel like there would have been a way for the whole series to focus on their interaction without having to use Leia or use Riva as a way to bring these two together, and kind of contrive their connection, if you will. But that was my favorite part of this entire episode, just from their initial fight, when he says he'll do what he must, to having his Spider-Man moment where Darth Vader drops all the rocks on top of him, and he hears all of like the darkness from like Anakin in his head, all that anger and stuff, that all the memories, right? The things that could get him down, but then he sees the light of knowing that there's Luke there and there's Leia and there's that hope, right? That new hope that we get in A New Hope. And it gives him that energy to use the Force. And I love the choreography. I thought it was very sharp, but nothing got me more than when he was able to, I mean, he essentially defeated Darth Vader, right? I mean, he essentially did. And of course,
and Darth Vader had the high ground, remember? Like,
yeah, he had the high, yeah, exactly. So much he learned from, but the only thing he didn't learn from his master was to have mercy. And there we go. That was the only thing that he didn't ever learn, which is what would inevitably be his downfall, because he is so willing. He, like Obi-Wan said, he wants to show his, he always wants to show everyone how great he is. And that's his downfall. And just that scene when he destroys his mask, which I've never seen the Rebels, but I've read that is very similar to Anakin or Darth Vader's fight with Ahsoka in the Rebels, where he.
I haven't seen that because I haven't even wrapped up Clone Wars, but apparently there's this huge epic fight. I will have to say, I enjoyed that too. When he cuts his mask off, I'm going to see if I can find the clip without getting, our video taken down.
Yeah.
But, it was a nice editing, and this was the good, like a shout out to like the sound people, right? Because mixing in James Earl Jones' robotic voice with Hayden Christensen's voice, that was a nice touch. I like that. I like seeing Hayden's, that's the kind of thing we've been wanting to see. I thought that was really cool.
So too. Yes, I agree. That was one of my favorite parts. And I think that was kudos to the sound mixers, the sound editors on doing that, because that interplayed with just the cutaways to Obi-Wan's face. I mean, that right there. Why are you showing me in large? Why is this? Why are you doing that? But just seeing the
right there.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am what remains.
That was so nice. Because that the reaction of Obi-Wan oh my god. Okay, say what you will about this series. I feel the same thing that happened in Moon Knight. Ewan McGregor just acted the shit out of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like he gave it his all. Like he might not have agreed with the script and been like, oh, that's kind of silly, whatever. But he's a pro, man. Like I thought he did a good job. Like his facial expression when he sees somebody that was,
his brother,
the guy that he raised and became his best friend, his brother, and knows that he is guilty for making him wear this, robotic outfit, and just the look of being crushed on his face when he was like, you didn't kill me, that was nice when he gives that whole speech about, that was, what did he say? Anakin Skywalker died.
He apologized and he said, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, I did. It's not his fault. And he's like, I'm going to destroy you. And he's still, again, angry and holds that anger. And Obi-Wan just realizes that, Anakin Skywalker is dead. Which,
man, dude, that was
especially when he said goodbye to Darth. He didn't call him Anakin. Whew.
that took me out of the show for a good reason. That made me go, oh, that's it. That's what I've been wanting to see.
Yeah, I got
And
a little bit
you
of
know,
chills from it.
writing was a little good or tighter there. There were things. I'm not gonna say the whole writing was crap, because there were things that I did enjoy
Yeah.
about the show. Uh, but very much like Moon Knight, I feel like you have this wonderful actor in this. Well, now it's a little different with Ewan McGregor because he is going back to playing that character that he
Yes.
played 20 years ago. Same thing with Hayden. I thought that was nice. This is like his comeback. So I thought he did a good job. We get to see him in a couple of scenes, even though the de-aging effect wasn't there, but whatever.
Yeah,
But we did get to see him. I think they said they did their own stunts, I want to say.
I think so.
That
But
was,
the only thing
that
that
was
I think the only thing that disappointed me was, I mean, when you tout the return of an actor like that,
cool. Mhm.
the lack of scenes he got, but that's because we had to give so much storyline and
Riva?
so much, to Riva.
And I think that's
And
why a lot of people probably hate on her, right? Like the
yeah,
character.
because it wasn't what they expected. And I think Roberto's right about the fact that this is probably a setup that either we get a season 2 or
Oh,
we're
yeah.
getting a spin-off of Riva, which I don't know with the reception how it's going to go down, but I also don't agree. One of the things I didn't like, we want to talk about that because I think, what I really loved was the Obi-Wan and Darth Vader moment, that whole scene, that whole part of this episode. But Riva going to Tatooine, and then the unnecessary like nighttime fight with Owen and Beru. Good for Beru getting back on those after her bout with the
cult.
the cult. I'm glad she's out of that and back to working, but it just, again, like then she's running after Luke, and I'm like, well, then Luke would have, she did, because she had her lightsaber, right? So I mean, how would he not remember that? Because then he's talking to.
Oh, there are a lot of.
Anyways, but it's just then for her. So this is what bothers me about her redemption arc. Okay, it didn't really seem like she was gonna go good. I thought maybe she's just a character that can't be redeemed, which is different than Darth Vader later on. But in this, she doesn't end up killing Luke because she's having those flashbacks of Anakin, of course, stabbing her with a lightsaber, but also killing her friends. And she realized she can't do it. And I think to myself, but you were part of the Inquisitorial Squad. I know it's not what it's called, and it's a Harry Potter thing, but whatever. She was part of it. And
Inquisitors, yeah.
Inquisitors. And they killed children who were force sensitive. We know that because we saw the bodies. And you can't tell me she didn't do that too. So this is the kid that turns it around. Like, it just didn't make sense to me. This is the kid. Why? Because it's somewhat important to Anakin Skywalker.
I feel the same as I did with Ewan McGregor. I thought she did a good job acting the part of somebody that's torn between the right and wrong. Not the actress's fault that the script is really, really weak. And I mean weak, because none of that made any sense. I mean, I was making fun of that from episode 1. I'm like, okay, this obviously they're going to have a redemption arc.
Yeah.
But she's not a likable character. As a matter of fact, she's kind of annoying. And then it leads to, people eventually hating on the character so much. So nobody really wanted a redemption arc for somebody. To have a redemption arc, I think you need to have some likable qualities about you. There's a redemption arc with Anakin Skywalker that happens between episodes 4 and 6. That's beautiful. It's his son that brings him to the Force. Here you have this is a guy that was going out killing people, kids, and Jedi. But there was something about him that made him kind of likable. And Riva just the whole time felt like an annoying pest. We knew it was going to, they made it obvious from episode 1 of this series that she was the child that Anakin Skywalker, that she saw that the murder of
she
all
saw
her friends.
Order 66 go down. Yeah.
But in this, it just didn't feel like I need to have something there for me to be like, oh, that character has some redeemable qualities about them.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just it seemed really rushed. It didn't seem like, it seems like they were adding her, and this is going to sound probably like what a lot of people are thinking. It seems like they added her so she could have her own show or be in another show. maybe the adventures of Luke Skywalker and Riva, whatever they end up calling it. I'm serious. I mean, because that ending, I mean, they are rewriting history right here.
Yeah, they're doing
with that ending. I mean, yes, I can suspend my disbelief for only so long when Leia is told, this it's very important. You don't say we
tell
have a
anyone,
connection.
keep it a secret. Yeah.
Keep it a secret. So I guess that makes sense when she was giving the message on a recorded droid, like, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You help my father during the Clone Wars. Didn't say anything about it. So that makes sense.
Yes.
To an extent.
To an extent, I'll go with that.
But then we have Owen invite him in and be like, you want to meet Luke? I mean, did Luke, like, did his head get injured in between this and episode 4 and he doesn't remember old Ben Kenobi? But you know what? This isn't the show's fault. The same thing could be said about episode 1, 2, and 3. With the
I thought he knew who Ben Kenobi was in episode 1, just as like a weird recluse. I'm sorry, whatever.
Yeah, I mean. He just called him a recluse. I don't think.
So he knew who he was. Like, but I guess.
But not to the extent of like, oh yeah, I remember when Uncle Ben used to come over and like y'all used to eat and talk about the old days. That was
happened one time. We're not. I don't think they're implying that he just came over and started chatting.
My father's lightsaber looks like that red thing that we got attacked with on the.
Yeah, that's what I have an issue with. How does he not remember like the lightsaber?
Okay, so Louise is agreeing with you. He knew who Ben was. I thought he had only heard of Ben. I didn't think that he had actually hung out with Ben. I thought we had just heard about.
Now we're going to have to rewatch
old Ben Kenobi.
The original trilogy.
But like I said, that problem is not alone with the show. That problem is not alone with the Disney era of Star Wars. That was started by Lucas himself, retconning. Well, I'm not even going to get into the whole Force, but retconning the droids at the end of episode 3, saying that, oh yeah, we'll just wipe them clean. And then Owen later on in episode 4 is like, those droids look a lot like the droids that came over during the Revenge of the Sith. Like, what? But whatever.
Yeah. What did Eddie Brock said? The best approach to all Disney Star Wars as fan fiction. If you want good material, look to Legends EU. And honestly, as a fan fiction writer, I know not all fan fiction writers stick to canon, but I try to stick to canon the most of the part.
I will say
I don't like reading stuff that doesn't stick to canon.
With the expanded universe, it's also hit and miss. There are some, don't get me wrong, there's some kick-ass stories in there, but then there's also some that I'm like, that doesn't even make any sense. It's like they're rewriting history. Mm-hmm. So to break it down, I feel like this was one of the best episodes.
It was, for sure.
Mainly due to the great acting by Ewan McGregor, and nothing wrong with the lady that played Riva. I thought she did a good job with the script that she had. But that wasn't what I was here to see, right? The series is called Obi-Wan Kenobi. I was here to see the meat and potatoes.
Yes.
Not the carrot sticks.
Yes. We wanted to see his story and not the side story of another character. That was what everyone came to see. And I kept thinking maybe when they wrote the script, they realized they didn't know how to make it 6 episodes or however long they wanted to make it a series, but didn't really know where to go with it. And that could be on the writers or the developers.
And you make a movie. You make a movie event.
They could have done it. I mean, it's not like he's not a movie star.
They really could have trimmed. They could have trimmed the fat. We don't need the side. We didn't need the whole Princess Leia thing. We honestly couldn't. We didn't need Luke. It would have been nice to just have Owen on the farm as a little, cameo, and that's it. The main focus of this was Obi-Wan and how he's living his life. I will say during the fight, I was disappointed in one thing. The thing that his moment of what I like to call the "If This Be My Destiny," which is one of my favorite Spider-Man moments, when Spider-Man picks up that stuff when he thinks about all the people that are counting on him.
Spider-Man.
He sort of has this moment here, right? He's thinking of like all the people that are the good in him.
Yes.
And he only thinks of Leia and Luke, which is okay. I get the representation of that, but there was so much good that he did before. As a matter of fact, I was kind of hoping Qui-Gon Jinn would talk to him during that scene and be like, yo, get up, you son of a bitch, because Qui-Gon Jinn loves you. Something like that.
Would have been amazing.
Except we get Qui-Gon Jinn at the very end, which I guess to throw back to like episode 6, it's the ghost, except this time he's talking. He's like, yo, man, where you been, dude? I've been waiting for you. Come on, let's go to camp, or whatever they do.
These weren't ready to see me yet. Yeah. That is weird because even like he could look to his past. I mean, even like Leia, or not Leia, but Padme, or I mean, Yoda could have showed up. It could have been very nice. It doesn't have to be. And I honestly would have liked to see. There could have been like I liked the idea of him meeting with like Tala. If there's some way for him to meet up with her without the Leia scenario where he learned there's still 4 sensitive people who are being, hunted and things like that. To me, that would have been a better storyline for him where he doesn't have like just talking about that interacting with Leia and Luke and everyone in general. And you just could have had the Inquisitors could have been there because they're hunting them. We could have got the Grand Inquisitor. We didn't need Riva. And eventually it would have led to Darth Vader. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Star Wars has always had strong female characters, though, like
Yeah.
Princess Leia. But I guess it wasn't necessary to have one in this particular show. The James Earl voice Vader. Some said it was a computer program using stuff. I don't know. That's something for behind the scenes. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was his voice. There's no denying that. How come no one dies when they get stabbed with a saber in the middle? Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah,
they wanted an Obi-Wan movie, but the Han Solo movie changed all their a new movie every year plans because it's reception.
Yeah, but that's different. And I get what they're saying, Griffin X, but it's so different because you're using a different character or a different actor to play a character that is well established as Harrison Ford. So it's hard to break that, right? And yeah, it's weird trying to shoehorn his backstory to where it goes now, and Obi-Wan was still being played by the same actor, which is nice. So that could have been different. I think the reception to an Obi-Wan movie would have been different than a Han Solo movie.
Now we know who Vader did not cross the flames to finish Kenobi in Episode 3. Vader was paying it forward because he knew Kenobi would. He did leave him again.
Yeah.
And what was of Riva at the end of this before we give it our rating? Like, where is she left in all of this?
After she redeemed herself and showed mercy, so therefore found peace for her friends that died, and she's at peace, I guess she just went off, right? I mean, they didn't really show her going anywhere in particular.
So she's still on Tatooine.
I'm assuming, unless she eventually went off-world at some point.
So sick of redemption's chosen savior, the need to fill the timelines, and all these Star Wars shows. It's actually shrinking the Star Wars universe for me. There's so much better stories.
Agreed.
I really wish they would focus on like 2,000 years ago when it was a different time for the Jedi. I thought I think that would be a really good place.
Well,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. That new series, The High Republic, like people like there are books, there are manga, and then there are the Marvel comics. Those are a lot of fun, and I'll tell you why they're fun. Because they take place, well, those don't take place nearly as long as the Old Republic from Dark Horse. Those take place about 200 years before A New Hope. But you're not tied down to the Skywalker saga. You're not tied down to the events of the Empire. You know, I like that. Yeah. You're free to do whatever you want to. I killed Anakin, Lord Vader.
And you think they would have learned their lesson by watching what Warner Brothers did with the Harry Potter franchise, where they tried to take what we thought would be a new and interesting story about a man and his fantastic beasts, but literally made this universe so small by tying it to Dumbledore and Grindelwald's backstory. Yeah, and I finally watched Secrets of Dumbledore. Boy, what a boring movie that was.
You're definitely limiting yourself to the stories and the expansions that you can do. And you're also, kind of insulting the audience that, oh, you guys like the Skywalker. That's all we're going to be talking about. I mean, that was one of the biggest issues with the trilogy, right? That was a big crap sandwich.
Yeah, it's again all about the same three, like the same people. She's now a version of an offspring of Darth Sidious, and
I have my issues with those. But movies, let me try to think of what else I did enjoy or did not enjoy about this. So it was nice to see Liam Neeson come back. Yeah. I mean, he said he wasn't, but he was there. That was
lied, like most actors are good at doing these days.
I love the theme. I don't care, if it's a bad movie or whatever, but those John Williams classic scores of like Leia's theme, the Jedi theme, Luke's theme, all of them playing towards the end. We finally get those, and I kind of wish they had played throughout the entire series. So let me see. So I did like the music. I thought that was nice. We're left and open-ended with the Inquisitors. I like the appearance of Emperor Palpatine, even though
they didn't do a lot of makeup on him, but yeah.
Yeah, I saw this one only one time. I meant to go back and watch it, but I just didn't have the time. Yeah, I noticed that too. It felt more like a rush job. So I wonder if it was just like a green screen in the guy's living room, kind of like Liam Neeson, like green screen in his living room. Like
he was out in his backyard.
You don't need HD Liam Neeson. Just give me a green screen. Look, I got curtains, right?
Yeah, that's probably what. And I bet that Ian McDiarmid, who plays Darth Sidious, same thing. They just like, hey, we're gonna film you and we're just gonna put you in there. That's what they did. That's all they did.
I've collected all the comics, but High Republic is not good. And watching the panel, they had cemented my opinion. What do you not like about the High Republic? I thought it was good. Like I said, because they're not tied down to like the Skywalker. Like I like the old Knights of the Old Republic more. I thought that was awesome. That's been one of my favorite reads so far. Or I read that last year. But what did you not like about it? I didn't have an issue with it. Sad thing is, Amanda, J.K. Rowling did the screenplay.
Oh, I know. It was, I love, if you ever watched The Secrets of Dumbledore, which I got a chance to, and then as you're going to the credits, it says screenplay or adapted from the screenplay by J.K. Rowling. How do you adapt a screenplay? But Chris Cloves, who's done a bunch of other Harry Potter movies in the past, had came through and tried to rewrite it, but honestly, it was a mess. And honestly, putting Johnny Depp in it wouldn't have saved the movie anyways. So I don't think he's missing out on much. It was not his, it's not, you know, it would not have, he would not have made it better. It just was a bad movie. Oh, hello, Lohit.
Broke the camel's back. Last Jedi was that's the one I also didn't like. I remember walking out of Last Jedi really confused because most of the people in the theater were clapping and loving it. They probably have all the retcons as a way to build a case to reboot the original trilogy with Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi and Hayden as Anakin. Interesting. Old Republic is where it was at, man. That was so good. Okay, so let's rate this really quick.
Yes, let's go ahead and do
because
that.
I think that's all. Or do you want to add anything else?
No, I think I'm good. I mean,
all right. Anybody that has seen the show, by all means, leave your rating in the chat or later on in the comment section. So out of 10, what would you rate this episode and then the series as a whole? So episode 6, what would you rate it? And then the entire series, what would you give out of 10? So
for episode 6, I think it's going to get my highest rating, and that's mainly because of the Anakin or Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, and that'd probably be a 7 out of 10 for me.
7 out of 10.
Overall series, probably I would say a 6 out of 10 overall.
6 out of 10. Okay, fair enough. I like this last episode. I love the themes. I love the fighting. I had issues with, but it was just nice to see both these actors back, both these characters back. I think this is. I want to say this is probably my favorite episode out of the whole series, which isn't really saying that much. And I can even forgive all the retconning and the Riva thing. I don't know. For this particular episode, I think 7.5, 8. I thought it was an excellent episode. Not by far the greatest thing I've seen, but I think an 8, which is sad to say that in Obi-Wan Kenobi, the highest grade I could give an episode is an 8. The series as a whole, though, oof, that's different. Feel like a lot of it could have been just cut. And there is something good there with some better writing and some nice edits. Shit, this is hard. Because we do have 2 big stars coming back. And
I
don't know. I think for the series as a whole, 6.5. 6.5.
Dang, you got a higher score than I did.
I think honestly, I try to be fair because I try to find the good in the things. And then
I
obviously was not enjoying this series. Like, I feel like, but the last episode really brought a lot of the things that I wanted to see. And I kind of thought that's what was going to happen. Do I want to see a season 2? Probably not. This is a good enough story. I don't need the further adventures of Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi to go. I
think
expect season 2 is the actual New Hope. I don't need any more of this backup stuff.
I agree. There doesn't need to be any more. I mean, because
we
got
here.
what we wanted. We don't need to have continual matchups because that would continue to thwart the whole idea of the New Hope. Anyway, it's bad enough by the time Luke's talking about Jedi with Ben Kenobi, they're like legends, right? It's just, not something that we need to have.
Mm-hmm. My ratings are the same as Amanda. Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
5.5 out of 10. 6 is valid. 9, episode 6 overall is 6.
Yeah.
I wonder how. I don't know. I don't ever look at scores, so I have no idea how the rest of the internet feels about this. Because one thing, I don't have the time to look at reviews, and I don't really care. Because there are things that people love that I did not enjoy.
It's hard because I try to look away from it as, and I'm not even as hardcore of Star Wars fans as other people in the chat are right now or anything like that. I mean, for me, it's mainly just the movies themselves is, I've just started getting into the animated series. Omar is going to help me with the comic portion of that whole deal.
Yeah, I'm going to get you a comic called Vera, the Redeemer.
Riva.
Whatever. Obviously, I cared enough about the character to remember her name. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, and that even with other things that I feel way more strongly about, like Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings. I mean, trust me, my goggles. I need to still take myself out of that intense fandom, aspect of it, and try to see what makes it just a good piece of, film or piece of TV show, like, whatever the case may be, what makes it good. And if those things are lacking, then yeah, definitely want to comment on that. So, which I will argue that the Fantastic Beasts is not because they messed with canon, though that's not fun. There's a lot more to it than that, guys. There's so much more. Oh gosh, I can't even.
Well, there was a lot with this particular series too.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd like to see Reba.
Where's Reba? What's she doing? Is she gonna be on an episode of Yellowstone? She could be in like that. Like the 19.
So now we're moving on to Miss Marvel. Was she in Yellowstone? That's what we should.
No, but I was just because Faith Hill and Tim McGraw.
Did we get any gifts for this one? That's not the right episode.
No, I didn't have to. I had a hard time finding gifts for this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this because it just came out or whatnot. So yeah. Oh well, thanks, Glenn.
Damn it, my wife. I gave
Immortal Ipsy.
The series as a whole, I think I gave it. What did I give it? A 7?
You gave it a 6.5 out of 10 for the whole series.
Oh,
you gave this episode 7.5, 8. I gave this episode 7, and I gave the whole series a 6.
Wow. Yeah. Sucks.
Yes.
What Miss Marvel run is the show based on? It is based on the G. Willow Wilson series, the lady that kicked it off. That's what it's based on.
Exactly.
Anything that man does is awesome. Anything that Taylor does is great, man. He's such an awesome writer and director. Plus, you got Kevin Costner. All right, we are moving on to Miss Marvel.
Yep.
We're going to be talking about Miss Marvel episode 3. Is that correct?
Yes.
Moving on to Miss Marvel episode 3, and then we'll be talking about the movie news and comic stuff.
Whatever we got. I was trying to search for what's interesting that just happened.
Oh, you know what's interesting.
Yeah, and we have not, just a heads up for everyone, we do know that Umbrella Academy Season 3 dropped today. Neither one of us had a chance.
I can't watch that yet.
In its entirety. We will be doing a review of it. I love Gerard way too much not to do a review of Umbrella Academy. So, okay, Riv, yes. Thank you for that super chat. But come back and watch our review of Ms. Marvel episode 3, Destined. Yeah. When you come back and are done watching it.
So come back. Thank you for the super chat, my dude.
And thank you for the super chat. But yes, we will watch. Oh.
Nope.
But we will.
keep in mind, Kevin Costner dropped out of a lot of projects to direct like Open Range because he believed in that project so much. He loves westerns. He's been riding horses for years. So
Yes. But
Cartoon and Comics saying episode 2 has less people watching than episode 1. 450,000 Samba TV numbers. I don't even. How do they measure? Like, I've always been curious how they do that. How do they measure like streaming services? Because I don't know how Netflix does that. I don't know how HBO does it. Because we all know we're all sharing our cousin's password. So
yeah, Samba is a
how do they go
different.
about
I know,
that?
right? How are you doing that? I don't know. Samba is a different way. They don't measure everything. They have some weird metrics, but it is something that right now that's the only way you can measure it.
Mhm.
There's a couple people I watch that I follow who found some ways to measure, like if you're watching for at least 5 minutes or more, and then mark that as someone who actually watched it instead of just flipping it on, right? So I don't know exactly we'll have to do we might have to do like a show on that. Like how do they rate? Like what is the top thing? Yeah, that's a good question, Kate. We're going to talk about it, but let's talk about Ms. Marvel, because I'll tell you what, I mean, we talked about with the last couple of shows we've seen of Marvel movie shows, we're like, hey, it seems like it's going slow, particularly Moon Knight. Did I already have that much beer that I'm slurring my words a little bit? And
I got you.
Yeah, this show does not miss a beat. Its pacing is very nice. It's very it's very nice. We're moving right along. There's no weird like side stories or anything. We're just kind of, I mean, there's side stories, but we're not spending a whole episode just, like we did in Obi-Wan, rehashing the same thing, but on a ship in episode 4. Anyway, but this episode, we learn a lot about Kamala's past, her great grandmother, about things I had to look up in the Marvel comics because I was not well versed in it, like the Clandestine and Jinn. I didn't realize Jinn were really in Marvel comics, but the Nora dimension is not, right, Omar? That's something they made up for the show.
Yeah. So in the Clandestine is a little bit different in the comics. That was a series by Alan Davis. So that was a really nice thing, though. We're getting obscure references in there.
Obscure.
It's really nice. Speaking of obscure references, where can I hire Brown Jovi?
I want Brown Jovi so much. Yes.
To come and perform for me, because dude, that montage again. I'm loving the montage. Like, I know that this show is geared for kids,
younger audience,
but there are a lot of things that I enjoy about it. And holy crap, is it charming? It's so like, I love it. I'm having a blast watching it. I watched this one with my youngest daughter, and she was liking it. I like the way that it's directed, and I like how fast paced it is. So it was cute. How you going, dude? Roberto Rodriguez, take that badge off. You don't know who the Clandestine is. Come on now.
Yes, but no. So I really like this because, like I said, there's a lot. So in this episode, there are a lot of Easter eggs to a lot of different things. I think it opens up with a flashback of her great grandmother, who we learn is she immortal, or does she just not? They age slowly. I'm assuming they're immortal because her friend Najma looks the same age in the flashback as she does when she's talking to Kamala in her living room. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming they just don't age in their dimension, whatever they are. And there's the 10 ring symbols are on the floor in the cave that they're at, where they find the bracelet. So there's a connection for Shang-Chi there, right? Mm-hmm. What do you think that connection is? I mean, obviously there's interdimensional travel. They have a nod to Eric Selvig, right? As well from the Thor movies. So that's in there too. But I mean, where do you think that connection is, Omar, with the 10 rings?
I assume that's one of those things that they found at the very end, right? These things are old, these things are ancient, and the fact that she didn't have anybody translate what the bracelet said within that community, that party that they have, that was that might mean that this comes from somewhere else. Really, they could go anywhere with this, right? We know that it unlocks a secret power within her. Those people are trying to get back to their dimension, is what they called it, right?
Yes, their dimension.
Are we doing multiverse things again? Because now you're just opening more doors, which I thought that was close. What's going on? Tomas got that bag.
Yes, hello, Tomas got the bag.
So, like, I thought that was already closed. You know,
Yeah.
we moved on from Multiverse for now. I'm really hoping they're teasing us in humans, right? I don't think that they'll do mutant, although that would be interesting because then you have a Captain Marvel movie coming out, and is she rumored, or is she for sure going to be in Captain Marvel?
She is, yes, she is going to be in Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
So there is still, how does she connect to that movie in general?
This is what I was going to say. So remember when Carol shows up at the end of Shang-Chi and they're talking about the 10 rings and the origin? So it could be something ancient. We could be talking Eternals. I'm sorry, Celestials, which could tie it to the Eternals movie. And then Jon Snow could come back and be like, finally, I get to reveal.
Don't have to do this Game of Thrones show. I'll just come back and be the Black Knight.
Eternals. Thanks, guys, for remembering my character.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm enjoying this show. I think it's wholesome, and it's a nice break from the normal type of superhero show. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and yet you never know where it's going to go. Both in this I think at the end of last episode, I was surprised. I was like, why did that cliffhanger get me? Why am I not surprised that this kid is actually someone else than that he claims to be? And then in this episode where the Jin appear, right? The Jin or Dijin, I guess, depending on how you pronounce it. I always thought it was Jin. And they turn out to be villains almost in a way because she's not cooperating with them. Then there's a whole fight scene. And I thought that was cool. I did not expect that to happen.
I love the fight scene.
She uses her fist like she does in the comics, right? Like,
and just how she will get to watch her use the powers like instinctually, right? Like instinctively how she has to fight back because she's not used to that. It's not like she fights for a living. She's not a superhero quite yet. And even Kamran, when he brings out his balls and he's using those, whatever those things are on the string.
With his balls.
I don't know what those things are, but he was fighting them too. Because obviously, luckily he's not, he goes against the whole, his family's, whatever they're trying to do, which did seem a little off how fast, like, oh, they're bad. They're actually here. They want to harm you. That was kind of fast for me, but I think that next episode we're going to get some more because by the end of this episode, she's calling her grandmother and her grandmother's like, oh, I've seen everything. You need to come see me now. Yeah, she's like, come here, which I don't know how she's going to do international travel as a teenager without her parents' approval, but we'll figure it out.
Just skip on over there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She has her
little powers.
Part of light. Still a lot of.
One of the things that I appreciate about this show is, in the realm of comics, you're used to seeing, even as a kid, I thought this, like everybody that has, by happenstance, finds a power from, whether it comes from an armor or whether it comes from a ring from outer space. All these people always look like they are in shape. So I appreciate that in the show, she's your average looking teenager.
Oh yeah.
She's not slim. She's not athletic, right? And that's what I liked about it. So I was wondering how she was going to handle herself during that fight. But what she really does is just dodge. And then of course, power punch, because you use the power of your imagination to do things like that. Yeah. So I thought that was nice. It wasn't like she was doing backflips and like Spider-Man powers and reflexes.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that was a really nice touch. So I enjoyed this episode.
I did too.
Did anybody else think when they were like, we have a secret, we are known as the clandestine, but your people may call, I thought they were going to say Inhumans. Like, are they going to bring the Inhumans like that? Like from another dimension?
Yes. That would have made sense and been really awesome. But I still don't know if we're done with the Inhuman storyline.
And how powerful is damage control?
I'm confused too.
Do they have?
Because I thought damage control, and first of all, after the blip and everything that's happened, why are we still trying to, what's this whole idea of the unauthorized superhumans? Like, can we just not they saved the universe? Can we just not? I know it was part of Spider-Man in this, but anyway, I feel like we're going to come to a head. We have two villains, right? We have damage control. They're obviously villains. Maybe they'll end up being the good guys in the end to help her, but they're villains. And then now you have the Jinn. So you have two villains that she has to deal with. And I wonder how that's going to turn out for her. Because I thought damage control, it was going to be her kind of trying to ward them off. But now it seems that I wasn't expecting some evil hereditary friends of her great grandmother to drop by. No, they didn't call him an Inhuman, I don't think.
No, they say Black Bolt.
They just call him Black Bolt. I don't think they ever said he was an Inhuman.
Yeah. Do you think the mother remembers about the grandma using the power? She talked about a trail of stars, but seemed clueless when Kamala used the exact same thing in front of her in episode 2.
They're a very interesting relationship, because there is that snippet that we get when she has the aunts and stuff over at the wedding, before the wedding, and the one aunt's like said she flew 28 hours to get here on multiple flights, and talked about how sad she was that her mother, Kamala's grandmother, couldn't make it. And she's like, well, she didn't show up for my wedding. Why would she show up for her grandson's? And I'm like, holy crap. So there's something there with that relationship. And I'm telling you, this generational trauma thing that Disney as a whole's got going on, this and Kanto, it's all about generational trauma, man. That's what
Kanto.
Well, that's what Kanto is, about their generational, like their grandmother, their abuela is like controlling what they do. And they're all kind of,
Okay, now that you bring that up, it is funny how old Disney used to be about like, oh man, my mom and dad are dead. Now I got to deal with it. Now it's like, my family's alive and I got to deal with their issues.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like we have the whole like family structure there, but they're all messed up.
Yeah, well, it's more realistic.
You were messed up because your parents died, so it's kind of funny that they've kind of moved into that. You evolved into that kind of story.
Exactly. Well, because it's more realistic, because to that case anyway. But
I'm trying to think of what else was in this particular episode that I may have missed.
Well, we learned that Bruno has told her that he's going to Caltech, and they don't know how each of them feel about it, looks like. We also almost had a nice romantic moment between the two of them that Cameron just completely ruined.
That's what happens, man. And I think he's thinking her too, because he was like, what did she say? Oh, you said she was cute or adorable.
Yeah.
Adorable. Like, what is it?
Adorable. And I was like, she is adorable. That's very accurate.
Oh yeah, she's great. I'm enjoying her performance, and I'm enjoying this show. Trying to think. The Bon Jovi montage. Oh my god, I love that. I love that. Like, she's running around, and what was playing? I know Living on a Prayer started playing, and I'm like, oh, they cut it. But something was playing. Oh, was it not You Give Love a Bad? Anyway, it was one of the songs from Slippery When Wet.
Yeah, and we also, and when Omar and I were texting about, we did love when she had her fight scene started, and she was in the kitchen of like the event area where they would. And
that was awesome.
And you always see like the people who aren't in the fight, not the citizens, or that's just the bystanders yelling and screaming and running away. But there's that one woman who's like, absolutely not. And she walked away. She's like, I'm not getting in the middle of this.
I told you, I was like, that reminds me, I so want to go see Nope. What's up, Delusionals Arcade? How you been, buddy? Yeah, Brown Jovi. That's my dude. Like, that's who I want to like hire for weddings and stuff. But, like,
maybe he'll have a cameo on something else. Who knows?
Probably. Maybe they couldn't get Bon Jovi, so I wonder if they're a real band.
Not the New Jersey Prince.
And then what? So Oxme Pete brought something up. Music in this and Moon Knight have been awesome. I would say it has me looking for that type of music whenever I look at Spotify now. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
So if anything, it's introducing me to new music. At least Moon Knight did that.
Moon Knight definitely introduced me to some new music. That was amazing. And I do like it because it's been a departure. When you think about the Marvel franchise, you haven't, I think Captain Marvel itself, the movie, was the first one that used actual like songs, really used actual songs in it.
It was done.
But theirs was like pandering to a time like, a
not
90s
just the time,
era,
but also the gender. I mean, it was,
and the gender. They're pandering.
They were all women, I think, singers.
They were, which is never. Yeah, but this stuff like this, and of course, Moon Knight just seems so appropriate. I mean, unless you consider Bon Jovi pandering to people from Jersey, which I 100% am okay.
I would agree with. So Jinn is Latin, and genie in English, Arabian mythology, mortal spirits who shape-shifting, go invisible, like Mystique. I really like Kamala and Nakia's friendship. I like her, and she finds out at the end of this episode
she's not happy about it.
She's like, how you're what is her name?
Nightlight.
Light,
They don't
Nightlight.
like it. Yeah, she's like, we have to fix that name. And I know that's what the whole series we're gonna hear her trying to come up with a good name for herself. By the end of the season, we'll probably have Ms. Marvel or something.
Somebody was asking earlier, do you think Captain Marvel's gonna show up?
See, if she did, it would be at an end credit scene. I think that's my only if they were smart, they would keep her just to the end credits that we'd have to watch as a little like meh. So, and it would kind of go hand in hand with the end credits of WandaVision, where Rambeau, or maybe it's not. It's either going to be Captain Marvel or Monica Rambeau shows up. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that Monica, because she's already been in WandaVision as in one of the TV shows, that she'll show up as a cameo in Ms. Marvel at the end. That's all I can say.
Okay, so that was what I was thinking, Roy. That would be a nice touch, like if she's the one that comes in
and names her,
properly names her, like almost knights her like Miss Marvel. I think that would be cute, and it would mean a lot to the character and the actress that's playing the character. But then again, it'd be nice to have Monica in there too. But we know that Monica is going to be in the Marvels, right?
Yeah, because remember we had that end credit in WandaVision where they approached Monica about Captain Marvel. So
not that Chris, not that I recall much, or the Jinn in the comics that much. I've never read about them. No, the clandestine are, but they're a different kind of thing. That's an Alan Davis story, which if you've not read, very underrated series. Let me see. Roy, it doesn't make as much sense because she's never been Miss Marvel in the MCU.
By anointing her Ms. Marvel?
Right.
I still think that she'll end up making it herself. I still think she'll do, because it's the whole issue of her confirming her own identity, whatever that means to her. And if she gives her name herself, I think it'll mean more to her character's arc.
Right. Like, because her character is like a fangirl, right? So it makes sense if she's Captain Marvel, then she knights you Kid Marvel or Miss Marvel, then that would be cute, right?
It would be cute.
I really hope not. That is one of my least favorite parts about.
If anything, the only cameo he should appear in for this is if her mom is watching a Bollywood movie and he happens to be the star of it, because they mentioned Kingo's. That's the only way it should show up. That would be perfect, and I would be okay with that, but not like Kingo actually showing up. Because he did kind of leave them all behind because he didn't want to get in the middle of.
Right. So why would he help?
Yeah. So why would he show up in this? I don't think so. But as a Bollywood actor in a movie that her mom's watching, 100%, yes, that would be fantastic.
Marvel is the most ridiculous series ever, and it doesn't represent anything about Muslims. Like zero, it doesn't represent anything about Muslims or anything positive about Muslims. Because let's talk about this, because one of the things about these type of shows, and I really honestly do want to know your opinion. You're talking about like it doesn't show Muslims on a positive light, because I think it shows Muslims, and if anything, like every other family, it's just that they're Muslim. That's it. And I think that's the point of some of these shows, is that it's showing people are like everyone else. And as a matter of fact, it's teaching a lot of historical things that I didn't know about, that I had to look up afterwards. So I don't know if you have an issue. Like, I think it'd be really cool to do that with some of the stuff that I had to learn as a kid in Peru, because it doesn't get talked about. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. Monica Rambeau omnibus, make it happen, Omar. Dude, let's just call it a Roger Stern Avengers omnibus, because that's practically where she shows up, right? Spam.
Why are we highlighting?
Spam. Is this a Monty Python skit? This has to be a Monty Python skit. Okay. People are people, good and bad. Right.
Correct.
Absolutely. Never heard of Noor Dimension, but I'm thinking their power comes from there, because Noor, which is my last name, by the way,
that's awesome.
Means light. And they keep referring to her powers as night and heart light.
That's correct.
I did like that power, like the name of like her power.
Hard light.
That was nice. I've heard the Muslim community has been happy with its representation. I think you're definitely going to have groups within groups, right?
Yes,
Even
of
if it's a
course.
Christian show, you're going to have some Christians that are upset with a Christian show.
Yes.
So I can see that, but I was just curious, like what exactly he meant. So wait a minute. Do these Jin know Robin Williams' genie? Nope, too late. He's dude. You
I
know
would
what?
be okay with that.
Here's the important thing. No
But do
one's
they know
asking.
that Will Smith's genie is also
Okay, we don't
canon?
talk.
Is that
We don't
also
talk about
canon now?
Bruno nor Will Smith.
Project Viking, you brought it up. Now he's canon.
Does anybody remember Mushu though from Mulan? Is what I want to know. That's the question.
Is he also a Jin? No.
Yes, he is. The show is not for me, in my opinion, and it's not for everybody.
It's not for everyone.
I think it's definitely catered towards a younger audience.
Yes.
That were nice, Roy. Very nice. Did you guys talk about the blue hand?
That's the hand that they found the bracelet on in 1942.
What do we think?
Blue, which is, oh my gosh, it is Robin Williams' genie. Maybe Will Smith, and Will Smith's gonna show up. Oh my god! Don't say that.
No, it's not Will. They're not gonna do. No, it's not, okay. It would be funny if it's Will Smith. It's let's see who. Oh my gosh. Who could it be? Who's blue? Mystique. It's Mystique or Nightcrawler. It could be Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler. Right? That would make a little bit more sense, but not much.
Apocalypse. What about Apocalypse? But he ain't dead. He just lost an arm.
He's lost an arm. That's true. Can he grow back?
No, we did not talk about the blue arm. They did kind of make a big deal about it, right? They made a big deal.
They did. Well, they're like, oh, is it okay if it's on a severed hand? Like, yeah.
Kazam, the movie no one remembers. All right.
No one remembers it.
Out of
Shaq
10.
Gonna show up now.
Amazing.
Sinbad.
Amanda.
Oh my God, I'll be Sinbad. And he'll finally be the genie everyone thought he was.
Y'all don't realize how much of this, like Pandora's box, you're opening up.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Out of 10, anybody that has seen the show, anybody that I love hearing this. I'm 62 and I'm really enjoying Miss Marvel. It's better than Obi-Wan. I love hearing that. That's good.
It is. Yeah, I mean, if you take it for what it is, it's like if you're not a young adult or whatever, but if you actually look at it as an actual show itself, just the quality of the writing and the production, it's a very good show. Mephisto. Is it Mephisto? Does he know blue?
I really hope so.
Isn't he one red because he's like a devil? Like,
I assume it's Kree. That might be a safer bet than
Mystique, that's a good idea. Yeah,
or Nightcrawler or Dr. Manhattan, who's completely from another property. All right, out of 10, Amazing Amanda, ladies first. What would you give this episode?
This episode, Marvel? I'd give it another solid 8.5 out of 10.
8.5.
Enjoyed it.
No way, man. I disagree. 9. This was
9.
Excellent.
Okay.
I mean, hardly had any issues with it.
No, it did. Yeah.
The bad guys were a little bit goofy at first at fighting, and it's 9 out of 10. It's a lot of fun. I'm hoping to see more stuff like this later on. I hate if it is true that viewership has dropped. That sucks because they're missing out on something good. I mean, popularity doesn't equate that it's something good, right? There are tons of popular movies that people go and see
that are not good, like
that are not good, and vice versa. There's some great movies that nobody talks about or sees.
It's true. So, same with TV shows.
Where are they? She are in the MCU. We don't know. They've been hanging out with the X-Men.
Not here yet.
8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Miss Marvel is for now my favorite Marvel TV show. Love that. 10 out of 10.
That's wonderful.
7 blue Will Smith genie arms out of 10. What?
Oh boy.
Electric 8 out of 10. I can imagine, of course, some Muslim community is displeased, but I think it's a very positive representation. That's what I'm thinking. Like, Electric 8. My buddy Classy Ulysses is giving it a 6 out of 10. Yeah, I can't wait to see where this goes. Hopefully it will open up some more things. Like Matt's giving it a 9. Chris is giving it a 9. Love all the downtime we are getting. Yes. First MCU where it feels like we're getting to know the characters. That is a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
That is a great way of putting it. All right.
We are.
What movie news are we going to talk about? Let's talk about the big one. The elephant in the room, which means
Kraven the Hunter?
That's right. Kraven the Hunter does not hunt.
Does not. Okay.
Maybe he hunts human, and that's the kicker.
Yeah, so I guess Aaron Taylor Johnson provided a update about the movie at a Cine Europe conference, And when he was talking about it, he said that he's just a hunter. Yep. What
somebody
oh my
summoned
God.
her. My dude
A
line.
human with conviction, an animal lover, and a protector of the natural world. He's a very, very cool character. But I thought he's a hunter. So now I'm confused.
Maybe he hunts people that are hurting animals.
Yeah, that's true. This is going to be really interesting, guys. Maybe they'll get their own meme. Like we have It's Morbin time for Morbius. Maybe Kraven will have I'm Kraven some Spider-Man.
Like, I don't understand what they're thinking. Like,
Oh, I know. They're thinking,
do?
look
Okay,
at how
what are they thinking?
successful the Joker was, which we didn't get. You never get a backstory, right, for the Joker in the comics, but they created this backstory. Now it's dark and stuff like that. So they're like, oh, that's what we'll do. We'll make it a different like kind of take. So he's an anti-hero instead of just a villain. And here we go. He's actually an animal lover. Like, I don't know. That's all I can think is they saw the success of the Joker. They said, we need to make our villains more like that, where they're anti-heroes.
I don't
know.
I mean, the thing
And
about
Oxman
Kraven,
said they're afraid of PETA.
okay, so here's the thing with me, right? Like, you can the heroes always make the villains. To me,
Yes.
the most like the eviler that the villain is, the better the hero looks, right? So no matter so Kraven Steve Irwin now. Yeah. Or more like what's his name? The Tiger guy, the Tiger King.
No,
guy.
he's not Tiger King.
So
But he looks like him.
to me, you have a character like Kraven. Like, the worst things to do to me in stories is hurting animals or hurting children. Those are the like worst kind of villains, because usually they go kind of hand in hand. Anybody that is going to hurt an animal, torture it, you usually see them turn out to be like serial killers or something, right? Kraven going out and hunting for sport is just that type of character. So it's weird to see him. First of all, a Kraven movie, what the hell? But and then second of all, like, if they're changing that, then what is there to do in this movie? I'm not kidding. Maybe he is hunting man that hurts animals, which is so stupid.
Well, yeah, very dumb. Because then why would he go after Spider-Man? I still understand that. And unless they're trying to retcon the entire character, which would upset a lot of people. But yeah, you can't change the character. Like, what makes, like, could you imagine if they did a Norman Osborn movie before they did Spider-Man? And like, the reason Norman Osborn is such a great villain is seeing him interact with Peter Parker on both levels, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to get that in this. And then how is he going to become the Kraven we know from the comics, or in general that is a true nemesis for Spider-Man?
I really think, there are several villains that could carry a movie, and I think if it's done right, it could be a really good movie.
That's true.
I just don't know, and I don't know if that's true. If we don't even know if the stupid movie is going to be made. It's not the first. It's not like Sony hasn't disappointed us before by canceling every project. Sinister Six, or Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 3 in the past. So it's not like that's not above them, and I can't imagine. I don't know. But that's one of the biggest changes I've seen in the character. It almost kind of like destroys the character in a way, because then it's like, why is he even a hunter? Is it just called Kraven and Animal Friends? Is that what we're gonna do? Doesn't Kraven get his gifts from drugs also? It's going to be interesting to see them dance around that. Well, they danced around the whole vampire thing with Morbius.
Oh, God, yeah.
It wasn't a good dance around, but it was a dance around.
Yes,
why did they make him so menacing and comic accurate in the Sky Breach in No Way Home then?
Great question.
Was he there?
Was he there? I think, well, there were a lot of shadows up in the air. I mean, Scorpion's like the easiest one, like, to recognize or stuff like that. But yeah,
I don't have a problem with comic books being one thing and movies being another thing. I don't need them to have the same identity or identical origin stories or be comic accurate or even look like the comic counterparts. But were you watching Netflix while we're doing this show? What the hell?
No,
man?
I was trying to look up a news article, and it's of course has to play a stupid advertisement for the
Well,
Price
somebody
is
needs
Right.
to pay for. Damn, I'm slurring over here. My point is, I don't need it to look like anything like the comic book, but then there's things like this where we go to the another extreme of
Yes.
like, yeah, we're just gonna borrow the name
and make it our own.
right. Then what the hell's even the point of making it a Kraven the Hunter movie? I don't know. Man is trying to party. Did you win the
All
lottery?
I wanted was information on Deadpool 3, and then I get this whole stupid commercial for, I don't know, Daily Distraction. I think it's about The Price is Right. I don't understand.
I would like to see a villains movie from the villains perspective. I think that would be an interesting thing. Am I drunk? Not even close. Just slurring a little bit. A little slower.
A little bit.
What?
What?
Nothing. What other news do you got for us, Amanda?
So Deadpool 3.
Okay.
Rhett Reese has teased some of the first details, and in a recent interview that he basically teased that the Deadpool, so we are getting a Deadpool 3, obviously. It's going to be a fish out of water story about him trying to acclimate to his new Marvel reality.
Huh.
So
are we going to assume there are going to be cameos in here?
What'd you say?
I assume there's going to be cameos in here. Cameos galore.
I would hope so. He teased a possibility of working in a Morbius joke. And that's gonna happen, probably.
Where do we stand with Sony and Marvel? Is that a done deal? Like, there's no more appearances by Sony characters in Marvel movies?
No, they worked out a new deal prior to Far From Home, after Far From Home's success.
Or do you say fart from home?
Oh, far from home.
Fart from home.
Yeah, so I imagine that, because I think with the new deal that was rumored that Spider-Man would be appearing in so many different things. And yeah, I don't know. It definitely means that we could see some Sony characters in MCU stuff, but I think they're going to limit it to probably just any Spider-Man related Disney Sony things or events they do. That'd probably be it. But as long as we get it's Morbin time.
Deadpool kills the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah, and then he could restart it again.
Yeah.
And they can recast everybody. Feige and Pascal both said they're working on a new Spider-Man trilogy with Tom Holland. I wonder. Or do you think
I would love a college version of it myself. I would be looking forward to that. But whether or not they bring back like Zendaya and stuff, I don't know.
Let's see. I don't mind if they have a different interpretation of a character, but my thing is that the character needs to be that character, like their personality and stuff. It makes it, if that makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. I understand what you mean. Because I feel like that a lot too. I feel like I need that. And sometimes we don't get that, right? Especially with like lesser known characters. I think for the most part, they try to capture the heart of these characters. Sometimes I think it's a little bit hard to do that. Man, all I need is a Howard the Duck. Dude, if they can make it like a Steve Gerber, like a good mix between like Steve Gerber and Chip Zdarsky's Howard the Duck, that would be perfect. Kraven, the knockoff Tarzan, George of the Jungle. I think that's more like Kazar, right? Like Kazar than Kraven.
I mean, that would be the.
Shouldn't have said that. All right, we're gonna keep going for another 45 minutes. Let's see. Let's ask some more questions. This is the time of the episode where we start round robin asking Amanda questions. She's here for all your answers.
Oh, you're hilarious.
That's what I'm talking about, right? They used to have Kazar if they wanted a nature boy. Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you check on that thing we talked about earlier? I can take some questions here.
Yeah,
okay?
Hold on a second.
Yeah. Are you going to talk about Kevin Feige's comment about Phase 4 and the bigger plans? What is the comment? Talk to me. Spotlight's on you, Amanda. No spotlight's on me. She had to go and check something for me. I got to borrow something for her before we leave tomorrow. No, we need a Deadpool kills the Fox X-Men cinematic universe. Do you think if that happened, any of those actors would sign up? Like, if you think that like Hugh Jackman would sign up to do something that silly, or any of the other actors that took their roles a little too seriously? Dude, okay, I do need to say something about the licensing Planet of the Apes. I think there's a misconception. When I announced the Planet of the Apes omnibus, people were like, "Oh, it's like the Conan deal." No. This was part of the Fox acquisition, meaning that they now own Planet of the Apes, whereas like Conan was a licensing thing. But if you've never seen the Planet of the Apes movies, holy crap, man. It's freaking awesome. And you know what? Even the modern movie, the what is it? The Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, that movie's like one of the best movies I've seen. It's great. I still love the classics a little more, or the original one a little more. I come from an alternate universe where gnomes oppressed the Polish people from 1401 to 1835. That's a long time to be oppressed, man. Did you find it?
Yeah, I found it.
Cool. Thank you.
You're
Omar,
welcome.
just got to personally thank you for recommending JSA Omnibus. That book is so good, man. Dude, I'm glad you're liking it, dude. That is my favorite Jeff Johns. That's my favorite JSA run. I love it, and it means the world to me. It's like there are moments in there that forever will be stuck with me till the day I'm gone. I'm rewatching Power Rangers as the OG, Zeo, Turbo, Space, and Lost Galaxy. Man, I'll be honest, I ain't never seen a single episode of Power Rangers except for Forever Red. When my friend gets drunk, he forces me to do that. But I did watch some of the original Sentai. Seems like a slim on me. I thought the same thing too. I was thinking maybe they were gonna do the 11 issues. I thought they were gonna do like the magazines, the black and white ones, but I don't know. I don't know, but this is a start, so hopefully we'll see more. Omar, your IDW collection is out of order. No, it's not. I'm not fixing Volume 8.
Oh my god.
It's leaning over for a reason. You think we'll get Wally? Okay, so here's a question, Amanda. And before, but hey, Omar, near me condition. Random question. Do you play Marvel? Hell yeah, I play Marvel vs. Capcom 2, baby. Gonna take you for a ride. Anyway, you know what that is.
Yeah.
Amanda,
yes.
Do you think we get a Wally West Flash after this Ezra Miller mess? They kill off Barry Allen. Wally takes over the DC. Did years ago. What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
I mean, it would be interesting to get a different version of the Flash for once in the, I guess, cinematic universe, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So they should do that instead of just keep recasting Barry Allen. We should just get a new one and he can be the Flash. I don't know what they're going to do with this film. If they have to find Ezra Miller first, I think. Unless Warner Brothers knows where they are, but I don't think they do. So let's just get that movie over with and let's move on to the next property. That's all they have to do.
My 2 cents is let's go ahead and get that mess of a PR nightmare type of movie out into the open and just get it, rip that Band-Aid. You know, other people are waiting to get a paycheck and we're holding it back because of one person. Yeah. Do you play video games, Amanda?
Yes, I do on occasion. I'm not an avid video game player, but I do play on occasion. I'm
gonna stop her right here and say Amanda loves people watching Halo. Like watching people play Halo is her favorite pastime.
Nope.
Yes, she loves it. Like she'd rather do that than watch movies. She loves watching people play Halo.
I can't think of a worse thing. You know what? No.
You can't think of a worse thing, really?
The worst thing is to actually watch the Halo TV show.
How bad is that?
We should have watch a show just completely. People are mad about Obi-Wan ignoring canon or whatever. You should be if you're a Halo fan, you should be even more mad at what they did to the Halo TV show. Basically, the elements of the Halo video game are there, which has a storyline, but they just completely threw it out the window and said, we'll get there eventually. Or probably never.
Probably never.
I mean, they it's so funny because, we saw Mandalorian. It's so successful. And the guy never takes his helmet off. in the Halo franchise, Master Chief never takes his helmet off. Within the first episode.
And you saw a lot of Halo video games getting played.
Yes, I did. I played them too. I was very bad, but I played them. I like the alien sword. That was my favorite weapon because it required me to aim. I don't like to aim and shoot. I just like to hack and slash.
She's just
so I was really good at the Lord of the Rings games. I never played Legolas. I was Aragorn because then I could just hack and slash with my sword.
Hack and slash is where it's at,
just
baby.
Like that. Yep.
How easy would it be to digitally remove Ezra from the movie and insert another actor? I think it would cost a lot of money, though. I mean, you're relying on not just one Ezra, because as we saw from the trailer, there's two Ezras because one's from another timeline.
Yep.
So yeah. Hey, near Mint, do you watch WWE? No, but I did start watching. Yep. Are we rolling our eyes?
No, I'm not rolling my eyes at all.
I got you, girl. Here you go. It's all fair play here.
There we go. That's the ticket.
There we go. Don't get too comfortable, though. Don't get.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Was the show written by Bendis? He did write the comics because he loved playing the video game.
I don't think he wrote the show on Paramount Plus. No,
I don't think he did either. Amanda, do you like watching anime as well as reading manga? And if so, what's your favorite? What's your dream crossover of manga and comics together?
Woo!
Yeah, Amanda. Round robin, baby.
I've watched some anime. Mainly whatever Omar has had me watch in the past, or my husband who enjoys some good anime, but mostly like DBZ and Bleach and Trigun.
Those are good though. Those are good.
Yeah, it's true. I've watched Gurren Lagann, so that's
Oh, that's so good. That's so
I know. And I did watch Berserk, and I also read Berserk.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Which might be one of my favorite, not only just, manga, but probably properties I have read, except I really just can't, I just can't do it. Omar, who is that?
That's
chick?
the man. That's the amazing man. Are you drunk? Oh, that's my girl, Nikita Lyons.
That's the girl he will cast and everything. But
every casting thing that we do from now on the show, I'm gonna find room for her to be in. You need a new Professor X, Nikita Lyons. You need a new Spider-Man, Nikita Lyons. Everything. I'll gender bend the crap.
You need a good Howard the Duck, Nikita Lyons.
Yeah, I'm in. Devil May Cry birthed my love for hack and slash. Shout out my uncle for letting me sit and watch him play Ninja Gaiden. Love those games, man. Those are old school. I used to play Grand Theft Auto, brother. This is how old I am. I played Grand Theft Auto 3. I don't know if you even remember. No, I played 2, the one that's overhead shot. Yeah, that's how old I am. And I played Red Dead Revolver. Yeah, that old. Omar and Amanda, have you seen Strange New Worlds?
Oh, is that the Star Trek, right? With Anson Mount? No, I have not. But it is on my list to watch. But I know it's on Paramount Plus, so it's on there. I just gotta watch it. But my husband has me watching the latest challenge season because he's a sucker for the real rules stuff.
Oh my gosh, those still come out?
It still does. Yes. Someone has. Thank you. I do need to get them redone, but you guys wouldn't be able to see that and know that, just me. So, but thank you. I appreciate that. Someone had. Why did you take
for highlighting your nails?
Oh, here you can see my nails. Why is anyone in this chat want to see my nails?
There you go. That's what people want to see.
Yeah.
But someone had suggested of the Roman Empire. I like that.
Yes.
I want to be boss though.
Classis Ulysses is recommending things for me to. Yes. High School DxD and High School of the Dead are great anime to watch.
High School of the Dead is so awesome. Whenever the dude puts the sniper rifle on top of the girl's boobies, like it's so ridiculous. Dead, right? It's so ridiculous. I love it. I think they should reboot the DCEU with a Crisis on Infinite Earths inspired movie.
Why not?
I mean, it feels like they were heading the right direction with like separate pocket universes, right? Like Shazam obviously had a different Superman than our Henry Cavill Superman. Wonder Woman had one of the weirdest, like, we're going to do Wonder Woman 84. Like, I thought it was rebooting it again.
Wonder Woman 84, I could do that.
I seen her music video. Come on now.
She has music?
Dude, yeah.
Okay.
She's on my Spotify jogging list. Her video. It's her video. It motivates me, baby. It motivates me. Will you be watching Umbrella Academy season 3? Yeah, let's talk about our future episodes. So we won't have an episode this Friday because I will be out of town.
Yes,
and
he's leaving
drinking. Us. Yes, I'm not
Yes.
leaving. I'm just taking a little bit of a break. There will be an episode every day though, because I've already recorded those.
Yes, he did.
But yeah, let's talk about when to see us again, when to catch us live.
It's a good question. Where is all of my, why can I never find my calendar I made? So this coming Sunday, we will be back 9:00 Eastern Standard Time. So kind of late. We want to give Omar time to get home and get settled in. And we will do a review of Herogasm. That's all. That's what I have to call it.
Oh, I was going to say, sadly, that Star Wars Omnibus has been moved to later on next year. So I do have some announcements, just not that one. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Amanda, with the schedule.
No, you're fine. So we will be doing that boys Herogasm episode on Sunday. And then after that, we'll probably be doing Wednesday, we'll probably be doing a Ms. Marvel. And maybe, hello there.
That's an awesome, did you see his name? It's an awesome name.
And then maybe Friday we'll do Umbrella Academy.
Umbrella Academy. Oh my gosh, that's a lot.
We have to give us time to watch it. Neither one of us can binge it at the moment, but I say that, but I don't have to go to North Carolina, so I'll probably binge it this weekend. But give Omar time to binge it.
I can binge it. I can do it. I can drive and watch at the same time while Melanie's napping in the car.
Exactly.
Look, my wife is calling you out, Chris Davidson. You're saying Urotsukodoji is the greatest of all time. She's saying it's tame. I do have a story. I got a story to tell about that. Me and my buddy Rob hyped up Urotsukodoji as the greatest hentai. It's one of those things that I watched I was in high school, and I'm like, I'm never gonna be able to sexually satisfy a woman because I don't have 6 penises coming out of my forehead. And Rob was like, this is the way we hyped it up to our wives. And then Rob got the big laser disc of it, and we watched it with Melanie and his wife. And then when they were done watching it, they were making fun of us, and then they said, y'all are a bunch of bitches. That's exactly what they called us. And I was like, damn, I was in high school. Okay, it was a lot different back then. We didn't have weird crap like this. Now it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, but as far as that word, what word?
Moist. Who's your favorite superhero of all time?
Spider-Man. It's easy.
Yeah, Spider-Man. Sorry, typo. That's why they can't release the Batgirl movie before the Flash is out, because Flash is rebooting the DCEU.
Oh.
Interesting.
They've got to go ahead and release that movie then.
2 shows about Herogasm or 1 on Patreon? Oh yeah.
Omar hasn't decided yet.
Decide that, because YouTube.
Maybe we should just watch the episode and decide if it's.
What if it's like the tamest episode of The Boys, or it's all pixelated
and it was them trolling us? That'd be the worst. I don't think that's the.
You don't think
there's got to be certain things. I don't know. James will let you know. It just depends on what Omar decides to do, how he's feeling.
Yeah. That's all it depends on.
Yes. Yeah, but then so this Sunday is The Boys Herogasm. That's what I'm gonna call it. It's just the Herogasm. Wednesday we'll do another. Wednesday we'll do a review of Ms. Marvel episode 4. Friday we'll do a review of Umbrella Academy season, the whole season, to give us time to watch it. But then the next week is gonna be crazy because we not only get the season finale of The Boys, we also get the premiere of Love and Thunder. So we got to buy our tickets for that. We'll probably end up having to do a Love and Thunder review on a Saturday night because we typically have to go watch it on Friday.
We'll give people enough time to go and watch it too.
And that too, yeah, because we talk about spoilers.
But we'll have a big long discussion about it. I'm excited for it, and I'm also excited to see in the upcoming months where the MCU is going. Because I'm curious where we're going to go, what the new villain is going to be. Is it really Kang, or are we looking to the stars for a brand new villain, which I guess we've already done that with Thanos. It'd be nice to keep it home, a little more grounded.
Sounds like damage control's pretty much a villain. So you got that.
Yeah, but I don't want no damage control to be a villain. That's a lame villain.
That is a lame villain.
I want a good old
We
fashioned.
need what's his name? From the Roxxon Corporation. We need that guy.
Oh, the guy that turns into a Minotaur?
Yeah, what's his name?
They could tie it into the
I mean, he's a villain from Down on Earth, but he's like
Down on Earth. Yeah, he
ran throughout a lot of the Jason Aaron stuff. I mean, he could be a good down home villain. And we already know that Roxxon's been mentioned in what was Roxxon mentioned in? I don't remember, but it was
Corporation has been mentioned. What was it in Moon Knight? I really can't remember, but I do remember that it was mentioned.
Oh, it's okay. So apparently you could see the Roxxon Corporation symbol in Iron Man, apparently.
Really? I don't remember that at all. I remember
why
when he's fighting.
Oh, and Roxxon apparently was also an Agent Carter. Well, there we go. And in Cloak and Dagger. That's why we want it.
Also, I did not watch any of these shows. I was
like, it was in Iron Man 1 and 2 and 3.
I just joined the Patreon. Thank you so much, Bert. That's really nice.
He's like, just in case.
Just
well,
in
now
case
we're going to do a Patreon only one.
Yeah. Bring your drinks and your clothes. Optional.
Yes.
Anything else before we wrap up for tonight and leave these fine folks here?
No, that's it. That's all I've got.
That's all we got. Okay. So Roxxon was a big part of Cloak and Dagger, the TV show. Omar, you know what actor could play the next MCU big bad?
Oh, I think you know.
Oh, wait a minute.
Do I gotta do it for you, or do you?
Yeah, baby.
Oh.
They put armor around the world, and they left out my dude. How do we get a multiverse without him?
I don't know.
Hey, Omar, did you watch Super Friends? Yep, I did. I love Super Friends. Welcome to the Patreon. New Trigon series on the way. I heard, man. I heard about that. I'm the Frank Miller Omnibus for sure thing coming. Yeah, Frank Miller Omnibus is sure coming out. Who should play Wonder Man? Amanda and I talked about this.
We did.
Thinking for me is always Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion.
To which I replied, if they want a yeah, he's too old. And you're right. The multi-year contract, he's just too old.
Yeah, we want somebody young. It sucks, but if we could travel back in time or hold him in a time capsule of like age 25, he would be perfect. Nathan Fillion, man.
One of the people I wish we could just,
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who they'll come in. Probably a nobody. It seems like they're casting like people from a couple of things at least, right?
Yeah, lesser known actors. Or
who's the actress from 18 the Yellowstone prequel? What is she going to be in?
She is supposed to be in the Wonder Twins, but that got canceled.
Oh, it got canceled. Never mind.
Yeah.
Nikita Lyons play Emma Frost all day, every day.
DH, a whole movie. That's kind of crazy.
Did I play Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe? I did.
Yes, yeah. I did too.
I played Injustice. Injustice was a lot of fun too.
I liked Injustice.
I went Steve from Stranger Things in the MCU. Hey now.
Oh, agreed. There was a lot of rumors that he could be a Johnny Storm. But I don't think that's who's going to cast.
Well,
he could be an X-Men easy.
I see him like
I'd rather him than the
Danny Ketch Ghost Rider for some reason. What's up, Cage? How you doing, buddy? We need a good Ghost Rider movie,
He could do it.
Yeah.
You do a lot of things actually, but
I'm gonna take this last question. Do you think the Phoenix Omnibus Volume 2 could be a reprint of the Wedding Omnibus? I would like it to be more modern Phoenix series that have never been collected, like End Song and War Song, even though War Song is or like Phoenix Resurrection or the X-Men Red would be great. But that is it for tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. This was a lot of fun to talk about these two shows. Wish I had enjoyed Obi-Wan Kenobi a little bit more, but hey, can't win them all. Amanda.
Yes.
Talk to me.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And remember to follow us on all of our social media channels at NeoMakeCon. Remember to check us out on Spreadshop if you want some great near big condition merchandise, and also check us out on Patreon for $1 a month or more. You can support us in all that we do here on this channel for you and for everyone who's not currently watching live. And then finally, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint. Good journey, everyone, and we will see you all on Sunday night.
Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless the interstate gods prevent me from coming.